Hey! So it's Emoticon Angel. What's up? Today, I kind of want to talk about um a book that I really like. And yeah, not gonna lie, this is doesn't really have much structure. Like I just kind of want to talk about this book because I find it really beautiful. And then kind of just like use this as an excuse to reflect on how I feel emotionally because Um, I just want to explore that. So let's get into it. So this is um a beautiful book I got in Paris. It's called Arnaud Lajeunie Flowers Year. I'm not sure what year means, but this is the front, and it is a very nice um plastic. Let's go ahead and open it up. Alright, so the first picture I want to focus on is actually this one. So this image is really drawing my eye right now, especially because of fall. I think the amazing thing about this book is this photographer really, or this artist, yeah, is her ability to capture different emotions with what is like kind of very common flowers. We see these flowers a lot, like that's like the poppy or something. Like, I'm not a flower expert, but yeah, like I think the use of spray paint and the colors are what is really attracting me to this one, and it's really just autumnal in a way. Like we have the green and the fading of the green and turning into the orange. And that's just how I feel cuz that's the season we're in. Like this was filmed October 24th, 2025, 2 days after the Libra moon. The leaves are falling. Um, it is fall, which is just a period of moving on. It's a period of preparing for winter as well. It's a transitional period. I think the transitional periods are my favorite. I will have to say that. Okay. So yeah, immediately that's obviously gonna draw my eye. This draws my eye on the level of just emoticon angel because y'all know I love me some color. And just thinking about how this photographer composed this, like with the cord to wrap it around, and it's like almost a bouquet. Hopefully y'all can see that well. Oh, yes. Yeah, this is so beautiful. This one, it's really gorgeous. I think this is one of my favorite ones, just after having seen the book a lot. Yeah, that's beautiful. These are peonies, right? Someone correct me. Yeah, this is so beautiful. Like the colors and everything. This is definitely more spring to me. And I'm sort of stuck in this seasonal vibe. But I also see like sort of blood here. I see kind of like a subtle bouquet. So a subtle what could be like a celebration, whether it be of love, from one bouquet, one person to another, or whether it be like, you just give your mom some flowers. I love doing that. I love doing that. Um, yeah, obviously, like there's a beautiful gradient with the spray paint, so it's always with this photographer, it's gonna be so dreamy, like so dreamy. This one is drama. This one I think my friend Polina would really like. This one feels more chaotic to me. It's not personally catching my eye as much. But the composition is really interesting. We have like a triangle here, and it's kind of inviting you really close. And there's also this dripping here, which I'm just noticing. And it's like very much a more destructed background. It's also like a liquid that was poured over the flowers. It feels like definitely, like I said, like more crazy, more active environment than the previous ones, which felt almost like, oh, what's this? This is another one that's very crazy. Like this artist's ability to capture so much emotion with just flowers is incredible. I mean, like obviously it's not just flowers because she or he. I don't know who this person's gender is, guys, but this is like an amazing ability to capture like so much emotion with just color and texture. This is a marble background, so this was shot somewhere else, and there's a lot of more dead, or not dead, but dried flowers, and then there's also this glue. There's still this glue here. This one is obviously more of a late fall, more of a death. Oh, this one is gorgeous. So she they do this a lot where they do kind of like this gradient of they have like this gradient of spray paint. I'm assuming from spray painting the flowers. Yeah, this is so beautiful. This is definitely more love for me, like very new love, like sort of just starting the relationship and finding your way together. There's so much beauty in this, like the cotton candy colors of it all, and like such a fun vibe. This one is gorgeous, and this one actually reminds me of Rusty, who is this amazing artist from Atlanta and from Texas and from Houston and everything. They're from all over, but this reminds me of them. They do. My friend Rusty does frames with these flowers actually, but this looks more like this kind of a configuration. I see an X, for example. I see a lot of beautiful flowers here. This one reminds me of my friend, but it doesn't feel as directional as the other one. This is another one of those ones that I said before. She kind of pulls you, he, she, they, whatever, they kind of pull you out of it when they put these, which I assume is practical, it's a clip, but they have these elements that are sort of like sprinkled in, whether it be like for practicality to hold it together. It kind of disrupts this um, nature the organic nature of this by kind of giving it a new sense, like it's sort of transhumanist in a way, like I would say, like transhumanism being this idea of nature and um, robot, but really human and robot. This is more like trans nature, I would say, which like with the mass industrialization of farming and shit, it's not too far off. Yeah, this one is again just a beautiful gradient. This one feels like this feels like, again, I don't know what this is, like glue or something. I'm telling you, this is a very interesting part of it, which is like this like inorganic, and also the spray paint is inorganic, but because it's tied to color, it's not as obviously inorganic. Um yeah, this is beautiful. We have the beautiful greens, pinks, and blues. This is like a lime green. This is like kind of like a almost like a dusty pink. We have teal and a bit of mint when they meet together. And I just love how you can tell when something has been moved because there's almost a shadow of where it was on the painting. Like you see, like here, for example, we know that they were just not able to hit this part with the spray paint. That's so beautiful. Yeah, I really love these types of ones, like the spray painting ones, just because it just reminds me so much of spring. This is another one of those. Yeah, this is just visually like so refreshing, I feel like, to see something be so kind of abstract but also tied into the real world. These are objects at the end of the day, like, and they're very familiar objects. They're the leaves you see when you walk around. This one's so good, actually. This one's so good. They're the plastic bag you see when you walk around, but it's like just presented in a way that is like this Mona Lisa, like it's fabulous the way this plastic bag is just draping on underneath these flowers that are kind of like, it just looks like you straight up took this out of the street and put it in a white background, and we're like, that's beautiful. And I fuck with that type of photography. Like the amount of times I've taken pictures of like trash in nature, because it's like it almost looks like a flower. When you see a plastic bag like this, it almost looks like a flower. You almost feel like it is nature itself. Like it's a new world of nature. It's like all of this technological advancements that we've been making is a new form of nature. It's breathing life force is different than obviously like all carbon based humans, but it is this form that has been that has evolved. Robot has a origin. It's humans. We didn't know we were gonna birth a whole species. But we birthed a lot of species. Again, just like this object here that is making you question like what exactly is happening, because it's not quite nature. It's not quite this natural relationship. There's something inorganic that's happening. It's so beautiful. Yeah, okay, I think we're back to that. So the last thing I wanted to show y'all is this page. So there is a couple like clear pages, and this one actually has text in it. So I kind of wanted to try reading it and deciphering it. Yeah, so this is really interesting. So I'm gonna just put this here, and if you want to screenshot it, you can, but I'm just gonna read it now. So basically, the artist here is talking about flowers as being objects that are separated from their function. And this, for example, makes a lot of sense to me. Like flowers, really, they're meant to produce seeds. They're meant to continue their lineage. But the way that humans have found their function, the way that humans have adopted it, is aesthetic. And it's actually almost, like I said at the beginning, it's a sign of congratulations, or it's like a expression of gratitude when you give a flower to someone. And so it's, all of these images are questions of what is a flower? What was a flower even supposed to be? We have blur objects to delay analysis. So there's also this relationship where the artist is trying to make it so that whoever sees the image isn't really understanding. There's like a comprehension delay, because it is sort of, I feel like I'm putting myself in the rose's shoes here, but I think that's how the rose would feel, is that they are being confused so much that it's sort of in that same way that this artist tries to defamiliarize their photos, the rose is defamiliarized from its original purpose. We have right here, it says imagination is seen as an autonomous exercise a priori which offers a pleasure unrelated to any what of any object. So again, there is like this aesthetic value that is there, that is not really, it doesn't really have a basis. Like really, when you see my analysis of this, it's really just like top of the head, like I'm just kind of giving you like what I think, and like in that same way, a lot of people can look at different things and see different things. You know what I mean? Like there's always that dilemma with humans, is we see things in different ways. There is no like really, like in a lot of ways, like we don't feel like there is a truth in the world, like, and that's very deterministic, I think, is like, what is the actual truth of something? What is the truth of an object? And like when you use that premise in your art, you kind of are allowing yourself to give less strict meaning to what you're doing, which I think is okay. Like I think a lot of contemporary artists utilize that and lose it, and I think a lot of like conservative artists are bound to that idea that art has to have meaning, art has to have da. But like if you think about it, like the very very first times that people did art was like cave drawings, and that's just literally to preserve an idea, or to like, like we don't even know what they were doing it for. Maybe they were doing it for entertainment, I'm not an anthropologist, so I'm not really sure about what I just said, but it to me is like kind of a reimagining. Like what this author is doing is, well, not this author, well, I don't know, because this is text, but what this artist is doing is kind of reimagining what Lajeunie Lajeunie is doing is reimagining that relationship with what is art. It says art via technique is to make forms difficult to increase the length of perception because the process of perception is an aesthetic end into itself. That's Victor Schlocky, 1917. So again, it's just like about perception. It's almost like not quite a mirror, but like a window to another perception, and if that makes sense. Image as a discovery. L'œuvre à faire. L'œuvre à faire. E. Sorian said that. So it's the exhibition to make, basically, if I translate it like that. So it's kind of this idea of you being one of the principal, or like the perceptor, the person that's viewing the art being like the being the person that understands what is happening, and that being a relationship. It's not an invention. It's not an actualization of a preconceived image. It's a discovery. It's just an exploration. It's unbound by idea. So yeah, that's very. It's always so interesting to look at this person's art. Like now, I'm looking at this one like, oh, I know you were discovering here. I know you were discovering here, Lajeunie. Yeah, that's cool. What is that? You know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm getting aquatic vibes from this one. Okay, well, this is the book. I think this is really the last one that was there, and I couldn't find it on the internet. So, if at any time you want to read it, let me know, and maybe I will let one of y'all borrow it. Girl. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much. I don't edit my videos. I just post them. So, if I make mistakes, I will correct myself in the comments. And yeah, I'm a Emoticon Angel.